Isn't it ironic that only a week or two after so many people in the Disney Star Wars fandom got up in arms because of some people's opinion, one person who's not even a fucking Star Wars fan's opinion about women in the Star Wars space, despite the fact that, of course, there's been female fans for forever. A lot of people try to make themselves into victims and push this idea that there's some people that don't think women belong in the Star Wars fan base, which really couldn't be further from the truth. Female Star Wars fans strike back at claim that the franchise is only for men. His guest said women don't like Star Wars. He agreed and sparked an internet debate. We talked about that with the woman that appeared with Star Wars Theory, how it got so blown out of proportion by so many people. Isn't it funny that just a few weeks later, Daisy Ridley, of all people, comes out, and when the media tries to get her to shit all over Star Wars fans for being sexist, she does the exact fucking opposite. Daisy Ridley insists sexism in Star Wars fandom is blown out of proportion. And of course, there were some people that could not handle that. You saw a lot of websites, you saw a lot of shills, you saw a lot of people that have been rooting this project on get very mad that she would dare actually defend Star Wars fans like that. Articles like this. Things get blown out of proportion. Daisy Ridley hasn't given up on toxic, sexist Star Wars fans ahead of Rey Skywalker movie. What kind of a fucking headline is that? This is the reality. That the mainstream media, who've tried to lie about fans and blame fans for all these different things over the years, they put it up on a tee. They walked up, they said, look at how terrible these people are. They told her lies about what Star Wars fans were saying in an effort to get her to shit all over fans, and she didn't do it. Listen to this once again.
It's great. I'm getting warm. It's a very worthwhile story, and I think Charmine's going to do an amazing job.
That's so
Speaking
funny.
of Charmine, I just have to ask, because there are some of the, I'd say, extreme Star Wars fans who have made this a conversation on the internet about how they don't want a female director, which seems bizarre because episodes of The Mandalorian were directed by females. I mean,
Do you know why it seems bizarre? Because that's not an actual conversation that's happening. People don't want activists making movies, whether they're men or women. People don't want people who are unqualified making Star Wars movies, whether they're men or women. And when you have someone go out, and the only thing you've heard them say is that they love being an activist, and that the only thing that they're proud of doing with this Star Wars movie is being the first female filmmaker for it. Of course, people are rightly going to destroy Charmine Obaid-Chinoy for those things. But the idea that people are just very upset that a woman's directing Star Wars. Was there a backlash when Patty Jenkins was announced for Rogue Squadron? No, there wasn't. Because it sounded like she really cared about the movie that she was about to make that never saw the light of day. So those are fucking lies that they're trying to tell Daisy Ridley in hopes that she blasts those Star Wars fans. She does the opposite.
Kathleen Kennedy has been overseeing all of this. So, what is your take on that?
I think my take is things get blown out of proportion, and the interactions I've ever had with people have been nothing but wonderful and supportive. And honestly, the day we announced that I was coming back at Celebration last year, you cannot imagine the joy and goodwill in that room. So I've only ever been embraced, and I think we're going to make a great film, and people will love it.
Cannot wait.
That is exactly the answer. That should be the stock answer for a lot of these people out there involved with all these different franchises. Yeah, maybe don't shit all over the fans. And I've seen some people talking about this and be like, wow, she probably doesn't believe that. It's probably just PR spin. At the end of the day, this is what you should say, regardless of that's whether you actually believe that or not. You're out there, you're a professional, you're doing your job. This is 100% what she should be saying. That, you know what? I think a lot of people, including the mainstream media that are trying to make up lies about the fans, I think a lot of that shit's blown out of proportion. I felt welcomed. I felt accepted. And I'm really looking forward to what we're going to do. I think we're going to make a great movie. Should be the standard thing. It shouldn't be a shock when this happens, but especially when it happens from somebody who works at Disney or Lucasfilm specifically, it is shocking. And so now Daisy Ridley, she's upset a lot of people that she said that. How dare you, right? How dare Daisy Ridley say that Star Wars fans aren't sexist? We've been defending her for years by claiming that the reason these people don't like her character is because they hate women. And Daisy Ridley comes out and says, you know what? I think it's kind of overblown. I've never felt anything but accepted in this fan base. Now, I certainly don't like the character of Rey. I think that the movie is going to be a massive fucking disaster because Rey is a terribly written character. But once again, shout out to Daisy Ridley, who just a few weeks After so many of these Disney Star Wars fans and shills were all up in arms over women in Star Wars and claiming that a portion of the fan base is just so sexist, Daisy Ridley, the person they've been trying to defend for all these years, says, you know what? I really don't think that's the case. You gotta love it. They can't stand it. But I like the fact that Daisy Ridley actually did the right thing and defended Star Wars fans.